Welcome to another episode of The Recap. Today's game features the North Greenbush Wolves versus the Nassau Knights. Two different teams. The Wolves looking to stay on top of the BBWL division, while the Knights looking to crawl out of the cellar. Wolves licking their chops for this one, hoping that they can get a quick sweep. Sean Graff on the hill for the Wolves. Jake Keller looking to get things started. Last year's 2023 BBWL Rookie of the Year. Graff has had a great season so far as he gets Santiago to ground out for the first out of the inning. He would walk Connor King to bring up Connor Tompkins, who he's going to sit down on strikes. Keller would then walk to bring back Santiago again. The walk, however, would get 2 runs across before Santiago goes down swinging. So 2-0 Knights after the top of the first. Carucci's going to walk in the bottom of the inning, and then Graff going to single here on a disgusting error. Jake Keller tried to turn too quick. It's going to cost him a run. 2-1 at this point, but he would strike out Yash, and then after walking Carucci, he would then sit down Graff as well to keep the game at 2-1. Later on in the inning, though, Kasuba would walk on an IBB to make it a 2-2 game before Keller strikes out Yash once again to end the first. Top 2. Look at this. A little English going to come back fair. Carucci fields it nice to get the first out of the inning. After 2 back-to-back walks, Stephen Koval steps up to the plate. He was last year's 2023 MVP. He's going to get him to ground out here, which would be a big one. Santiago would walk, and then King going to go down swinging. There was a walk that would put a run across, though, so it's 3-2 now at this point. Knights looking to hold on to the lead. Keller throwing a gem. Last year's rookie, and you can see just why. He's going to get Carucci to strike out later on in the inning, and then he would get back-to-back Ks. He's going to get Graff again. He would leave the bases loaded. At this point, the Knights were still up 3-2 and looking to tack on. Jam job here, though. Graff throwing a pretty good game himself. Going to have to hold down last year's MVP, though, to keep this game where it's at. Not so much. Koval with a huge double. That would make it a 4-2 game. Graff, though, going to settle in and going to get Santiago to ground out. Look at this, the luck looking like it could be in their favor. Santiago didn't like the call, but nonetheless, it was an out. Connor King comes to the plate for the final out of the inning. Graff would get him to strike out as well. Over to the bottom of the third. Last shot here. After back-to-back walks, he's going to get Carucci to foul out. It was a 4-3 game at this point, and then look at this. Painting the corner doesn't get much sweeter than that. Yash with the go-ahead runs on. Keller going to sit him down again. A huge win for the Knights. They take this one 4-3 as they try to continue to crawl out of the cellar in game 2. And no better way to do it. Guy on the mound, Stephen Koval, winless though so far in the 2024 season. He's had a couple tough breaks here early on, but he's hoping he can get himself on track with a big win here over the Wolves. Yash gonna fly out for the second out of the inning, and then Graff would go down swinging as well. A rare feat to see Graff go down swinging like so. Gosh, the Wolves ace thus far this season going to get Keller to ground out here to start the game. But Koval looking to put the Knights on his back, and this ball got out of here in a hurry. A solo blast. Koval helping himself, making it 1-0. Santiago, next batter, is going to single. So the Knights got a little something going here in the bottom of the first. It generally doesn't take a lot of runs to support Koval, and Yash knows that, so he's going to sit down Keller, window shopping. Back over to the top of the second. Yash going to double. He's He's been hot all season long. That double would actually bring in Kasuba, who had just IBB'd. Koval, though,
1-1.
going to get Kasuba looking here on the high rise as we head to the bottom of the second. Koval would ground out. Santiago would walk. King would walk before Tompkins would ground out here. Good defense all around from both teams. At this point, it was a 2-1 game. Strike three, though, goes Keller. And we take it to the top of the third. Wolves down to their last shot, and Koval is dealing. He's going to get an unbelievable ground out play here. Koval hangs onto the bag, and then a fly out from Carucci. Graf would walk, but too little too late. This was one of the quickest games in BBWL history. Both pitchers threw well, but none better than Stephen Koval as he picks up his first victory of the season. Right into game three, Carucci going to get things started with a nasty curve to sit down Keller. And then he would get Koval to ground out as the defense of Gem continued. No one would have thought in this part in the series that the Wolves would be looking to avoid a sweep. Santiago doesn't care what anyone thinks. He's going to continue to pile it on. Solo blast puts the Knights up 1-0. And they are after the sweep. It isn't just about getting out of the cellar for these guys. They want a little bit more. Connor King with some more bad luck. Going to ground out here to Yash over to the bottom of the first. Carucci's going to walk to bring up Graf. And he would go down swinging Santiago with a little two-seam run on the heater. Kasuba, one of the hottest hitters in the BBWL, though, going to get a single here to try to get the Wolves going. Yash, though, going to ground out. Another great play here. Defense continues to dominate this series. Attempted double play was no good, but it didn't matter because Graf would fly out to the shortstop, Stephen Koval. And look at this play. Another web gem. Knights. Can't ask for much more. Great pitching and defense going to carry you far. Connor Tompkins in the bottom of the first. He's going to foul out, top of the second. Keller would then walk before Koval would double on this ground ball up the middle to bring up Santiago, who has started to heat up. But Carucci with a nasty sinker drop, going to sit him down. This has been one heck of a series. Great pitching, great defense, and some timely hitting. Carucci made some big pitches in the inning, but unfortunately with several IBBs, it would be a 4-0 game at this point. And Santiago was dealing, going to get Kasuba to strike out. Yash would walk. And then a little bad luck for the Knights here. Graf's going to drill a ball off of another ball for a double, and that would push a run across to make it 4-1. So maybe a little luck in the direction of the Wolves here. Next batter is Kasuba with 2 on. After a long debate and a look at the camera,
You guys know the answer?
it was clear that Graf doubled off of another ball. So that would bring it over to Kasuba with 2 on, and one of the BBWL's hottest hitters going to tie things up. It's now a 4-4 game as the Wolves making a strong push to avoid the sweep. But like we've seen before, some great defense going to continue to hold the Knights. Yash ain't happy about it. Carucci would walk Graf. Ben was going to double, though. So with 2 down, Kasuba would come back up to the plate with a chance to now give his team the lead. No dice. Santiago going to sit him down as we head over to the top of the third. Top third, strikeout from Carucci on the nasty slider. And then he's going to sit down Santiago, and this is what the Wolves needed. Had to dig down deep. Carucci been a part of the Wolves since the very beginning. And he's going to put his team on his back. Yash over now to the bottom of the third. He would go down swinging 4 straight strikeouts in the game. Carucci would walk before Graf would then ground out, chases the high lob. Santiago with a little trickery and some defense to go along with it. But here comes Kasuba, already been a hero once. Can he do it again for the win? No. High heat, Bayou. Brings up Tompkins in the top of the fourth. Knights trying to get on the board. But a quick out here. Keller then would fly out to Graf. And then Koval with the chance to give the Knights the lead. Going to go down swinging. Carucci really had that sinker drop going here late in the game. So now we head over to the bottom of the fourth. One run would do it. But Yash is going to go down looking. Walk to bring up Graf, who struggled a little bit in this series. Got ground out here for another out. Kasuba would then step up to the plate and walk before Yash gonna foul out. So yeah, let's go to the top of the fifth. Santiago been doing it all game for his team. Yeah, why not? Puts this one deep and gone. Skyscraper. 5-4 game on the solo blast. And the way the Knights have been playing, one may be all they need. Connor King, the next batter, and some history made here. His first hit in the BBWL. Not a very eventful one, but nonetheless a hit. Connor Tompkins, the next batter, looking to get a little more insurance, and he's going to go down looking. Carucci continuing to deal despite being down a run. Keller would walk, and then Koval would ground out to Yash to bring up Santiago. Once again, already gave him the lead. A single here would push across another run. And look at this guy. He's going to get it just up over Yash. He almost had it rattled out of the hands. This is now a 6-4 game. But look at this. Might be the play of the game. Saved a run. What a play from Yash. Diving effort. Incredible. So here we go. Last shot at it. Carucci walks, Graf walks, and are you kidding me? Just like that. Quick and simple. Gone. A 3-run shot. And just like that, the Wolves gonna avoid a sweep here. A little celebration. Not the best from the Wolves here today, but the Knights dug in deep. Gave them a battle. Definitely could be a force to reckon with as the playoffs approach. Thanks for joining us once again on The Recap.